Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Mickey Garcia, 411088.
All right, Mickey, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Bonnie Jackson, Mr. Pete Freeman. Explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a parole interview, ask you some questions, you can respond. At the end, you can make a statement, we'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Mickey Garcia, DOC number 1411. Mickey Garcia, 411088. First class offender, parole eligibility date 11/3/2022, good time date 5/2/2023, full term date 8/3/2026, 5-year sentence. Operation of clandestine lab, possession CDS1 with intent to distribute, possession CDS2 with intent to distribute. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Answer Ms. Bonnie Jackson question, please.
Hi, Ms. Garcia, how are you doing this afternoon?
Ma'am,
How are you this afternoon?
I'm all right. How you doing, ma'am?
Fine, thank you. How old are you?
51.
How long have you been incarcerated in this case?
15 months.
Months. So you pled guilty and was given a DOC sentence, and you're now serving that sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not here because you violated a probation. You just got the sentence that you received, and you've only served 15 months on that sentence.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was looking at the information surrounding your arrest. You had a significant amount of drugs. You had 19.16 pounds of synthetic cannabinoids. You had 10.87 grams of crack cocaine, 121.2 grams of MDMA pills, 2 bottles of gabapentin, 2 sprayers containing a total of about 2 gallons of liquid synthetic marijuana. And then, of course, you have the related drug paraphernalia. So I'm surprised that you are classified as your third felony offender. When did you get involved in drug dealing?
Well, I had done drugs one time in 99, and that was my first time. And my mama house got about to get taken, and that's why I done drugs this time.
Well, you weren't doing them, you were selling them.
That's what I mean by selling it.
Well, then why didn't you have a job? You're 51 years old, why weren't you working?
I do have a job. I was working 12 years for Beta Builders.
And how much were you earning doing that?
Approximately $450 a week.
Okay, and that wasn't enough, so you were selling these drugs?
It didn't come upon, they didn't tell me somebody else was staying in the house that they were supposed to be paying the taxes on the house. But when I got the letter after they moved out, it told me that I had a month and a half to pay the taxes, $4,500.
So your solution to that was to amass these quantities of drugs? How'd you get them?
Through a friend.
You've only been there 15 months. It looks like you haven't taken any programs since you've been there. Is that correct?
I'm in pre-release now.
Right, but you haven't finished anything because you've just been there 15 months.
I was in ARDC. They wouldn't let me get in any programs until I got here.
Well, obviously, you know, you've got to have something that's going to change your mindset and your thinking. And I just don't think you've had enough time to take any program. You know, you had a prior conviction for cocaine and other drugs. I think you need drug abuse treatment. I think you need thinking for a change. I think you need a lot of programs. And so I just don't think you've been there long enough. I don't think you've had enough time to do programming. And unless you have some pretty good programs under your belt, I am not comfortable giving your record, voting to let you out. Gordon, I know you don't have much you can say about him, but what can you say?
Yeah, you're right, Ms. Jackson. Not like he's only been with us since August, so I have very minimal I can say about him. You're right, though. He could probably use some drug treatment, some things to help him stay out of here. But he has no conduct history, so he's not a bad guy. But we want to make sure he succeeds whenever we let him go.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Garcia, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
No, sir.
Okay, panel prepared to vote. Mr. Jackson?
All right, Mr. Garcia, you've only served 15 months of your sentence. You haven't had a chance to complete any programs. So my vote today is going to be to deny, because you have had insufficient time and you need more programs.
Mr. Freeman?
I concur with Ms. Jackson. I think he needs to be there a while and do some programs.
All right, 2 votes to deny. I'm also going to vote to deny for the same reason stated. The programs on eBay, get some things done. 3 votes to deny. Today, your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
All right, so let's unpack that. I mean, frankly, I'm not surprised just for that, just for the reason that he's really only been there. I mean, really short amount of time. I am frankly surprised at how short his sentence was. A 5-year sentence, and he's already getting a parole opportunity 15 months in. And it just makes me think that he had to have ratted someone out to get a deal like that. I mean, the amount of stuff that he was caught with, 19 pounds, 11 grams of crack, 121 grams of MDMA. I mean, 2 gallons of liquid synthetic mojo, I guess. I mean, I'm really not like some, but this sounds like you're talking about a lot of money in retail value. So, I mean, for someone to get caught with all of that stuff, he must have been doing pretty well for himself. I mean, this isn't like low-level dealing. This is like, I mean, he had a lab. He was creating this stuff, right? That was in there too. So to only get a 5-year sentence is kind of, I mean, it's like a slap on the wrist. So I do wonder if he ratted someone out. What do you guys think? But that's something to think about. Imagine if you rat someone out and they say, okay, you'll get a 5-year sentence, and then you'll get up to parole in in a year and a half. So you might get out, and he could be thinking like, okay, great. And then it comes through, he gets parole, and the parole board just shuts it down. They don't know about the deal. But I don't know, maybe it's not a deal. Sometimes you can get complete immunity when you do a deal like that. So I just wonder if it was just a light sentence. I'm curious. I am curious on this one. If any of you can pull anything up on and research it. But like, you think he's gonna go do programming? Or is he just gonna finish out his sentence? I do wonder. Otherwise, not much else to comment on this one. So with that, I will let you go.